I'm Aurora, and my journey with yoga began when this guy trusted 17-year-old me with the keys to this studio so I could clean in exchange for classes. For the past 13 years, I've dedicated my career to giving back that exact gift I was given, and now I'm here to share it with you. Welcome to Work From Home Yoga. Okay, let's get started. Let's start off lying down today. Bodhi, not now. So we'll lie down with the soles of the feet on the mat and bring your feet out about as wide as the mat so the knees come together toward one another. And place both hands on your low belly with the elbows out wide. Closing the eyes here if that feels comfortable. And beginning to take slow, full breaths. Breathing from the low belly, from center. Noticing that soft expansion as the hands gently rise with the inhale and fall with the exhale. Feeling grounded and heavy in the low back, hips, the pelvis. Taking some time at the beginning of our practice to check in with how we're doing today, physically, mentally, and emotionally. All three interact with and impact one another. And start to deepen your breath here. Filling up with a little more air than you normally would, slowing down the exhale by several seconds. Can start to shift the back of the head on the mat from side to side. Drawing the chin toward the right shoulder, back to center, and then over to the left. Meeting back in neutral. Sweep the arms up and overhead with a soft bend at the elbows. It's kind of like a cactus, but even more generous. Grounding down through the upper back. Staying with that steadiness and full breath. And start to windshield wipe the knees from side to side so you can drop the knees over to the right. Lift back up, press down through the right foot to send the knees over to the left. We'll do this for about 30 seconds or so. You can always pause once you land there. If if that section of the body is feeling particularly tight today. And we'll meet back with both feet on the mat. You can walk your feet in slightly closer toward one another so they're about hip width apart now. And then cross the right ankle over the left knee. Walk the left foot out all the way to the edge of the mat, and then let the knees drop over to the right. So the ankle will stay on top of that knee to stretch the left quad, hip flexor, maybe even the low back. If this is too intense or uncomfortable, you can always drop that foot to the floor instead. Take about 5 breaths here. And lift back up. And switch sides. Walking that right foot out to the edge of the mat, and then let the knees dip. Five full breaths. Lifting back up to neutral. We'll hug the knees in toward the chest, bringing the hands to the backs of the knees, rolling them around in circles. And reverse directions. From here, replant the left foot on the mat and sweep the right leg up toward the ceiling. So you can interlace your hands around the back of the calf or the quad. Start to roll that ankle around in some circles. The target area of this stretch will be the back of the leg, the hamstrings. So as much as you would like to draw the leg toward the face while still keeping the low back flat, you can do that. Elbows soft, 5 breaths. Drawing that right leg in slightly closer toward the chest. Stay here with the hands. Extend the left leg long on the mat. Point the toes. 3 more breaths here. And turn this into half happy baby pose. So you can bring your hand to the outer edge of that right foot or the ankle. Drop the knee down toward the right shoulder, and the left hand can stay on the hip to keep it grounded. Full inhale. As you exhale, put some pressure with that hand against the foot to draw the knee toward the floor on the exhale. Again, breathe in. Exhale, sink into it. The last one, inhale. And exhale. Plant the left foot on the mat, cross the ankle over the knee, and then reach your hands through that triangle to grab a hold of the top of that left knee for a hip stretch. You can shift side to side. There's that option of pressing the right knee away toward the top of the mat with the hand, or you can use the elbow at the inner edge of the knee. 5 breaths. Unwind the right leg long on the mat, hug the left knee in, and plant the right foot, sweep the left leg up, find that interlace wherever it feels okay, roll out through the ankle. Oftentimes it's the softer, more subtle movement that ends up making the biggest difference, especially when we're moving so quickly all the time. Okay, find the interlace. Shoulders draw back and down. Tailbone softens. 5 breaths. Start to draw that leg in a little closer toward the chest. Extend the right leg long. 3 more breaths here. Start to bring the hand to the outer edge of the foot, the calf. Happy baby pose, only on the left side, so half happy baby. Right hand comes to the hip. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale, press the hand into the foot, draw the knee down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good. Plant the right foot, cross the ankle over the knee. Stay here or reach through. Thread the needle. Find some movement. Creating space deep in that left hip. 5 full breaths. Unwind, left leg long. Plug the right knee in. Cross it over the body to the left. A supine twist. And reach the right arm out. And that bottom leg is either straight or you can bend at the knee. Draw the heel in toward the glute. And if you want an extra deep stretch here, you can take the hands to the outer edge of the foot, draw the heel in, and then think about pulling that knee away from the left side of the mat and over to the right. So this is a very intense twist. You can adjust according to whatever your body wants to do today. Slow inhales, even longer exhales. And switch sides. That left shoulder is almost like a magnet drawing toward the floor, even in the twist. Just hard to do if you're feeling really tight in your low back. Breathe here. And back to center. Hug the knees in toward the chest and then rock and roll a couple times on the spine. So you can bring the hands underneath the knees, lift yourself up, lower back down, just rolling on the spine until you get enough momentum to shift forward. Coming onto hands and knees. And we'll take some rounds of cat-cow here. Inhaling to arch, exhaling to round. Start to shift the body around in circles, so sending your weight back down toward your heels. Coming forward with the hip bones toward the wrists and back down again. In reverse directions. Back in tabletop, plant the left hand underneath the face, sweep the right arm up, and drop down to or thread the needle on that right shoulder. So left arm can reach up, back behind you for a half bind. We're putting some gentle pressure with that arm that's against the ground so we can rotate more toward the side of the mat. Take a breath in, and then on the exhale, continue to open into it. 2 more like this. Breathe in. Exhale, open up. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Unwind, plant the hands, sweep that right arm up. And then switch. Inhale, left arm reaches. Exhale, drop it down. Half bind. Draw back. This should feel like a really nice stretch upper back in between the shoulder blades. 3 breaths together. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Inhale. Exhale, lean back. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Unwind, plant the hands, sweep that left arm up. And drop it down. Let's take puppy dog pose on Hatasana, so you can keep the hips stacked on top of the knees. Walk the hands forward. Drop either the forehead toward the mat or the chin toward the mat to create some space on the upper back. You can also come up onto the fingertips, making little tents with the hands as well. From here, we'll plant the palms, pull ourselves forward all the way down onto the belly into Sphinx pose. So shoulders on top of the elbows. Can separate the feet about hip width. Close the eyes, maybe roll the head around in half circles, full circles, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, releasing through the back of the neck. Finding stillness, 5 breaths here. Start to walk the hands forward a little bit. You might need to scoot slightly back on the mat, so that way we can lift the elbows off the mat and take this version of Sphinx that might be slightly deeper with more compression in the low back. So not quite a seal, not quite a Sphinx, but just enough to where you can maybe walk your hands back in a little closer towards your body to deepen the back bend. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down, slide the hands underneath the shoulders, press back, child's pose. Start to shift the forehead on the mat side to side. Gentle massage. Working with those kind of pressure points that are right in between the eyebrows that tend to get tight. Slowly start to lift yourself up back into that tabletop pose. And step the right leg out to the side with the toes pointing forward or maybe slightly even out to the right. That's fine too. I'm going to shift our weight back, seat toward that left heel to get a nice stretch for that right inner thigh. So you can hold here, or you can play around with shifting forward, maybe even walking the hands forward, dropping that left quad toward the floor, and then up and back, walking the hands back and releasing. About 30 seconds of whatever feels good. And when you're done, we'll meet back with the knees together and then switch sides. So I'm just going to turn around here because I'm facing the wall and I've got no space. Keep the foot in line with the knee. Shift back. Maybe you draw the toes toward the face. That changes the way you feel things. And then option to cycle forward if you'd like. Keep the movement slow if you choose movement. Move back with the knees together. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Tuck the back toes, lift that knee, and slide the foot as far back as you can to re-lower the knee down to the floor. You can stay on the hands, fingertips, or make fists. Shift the hips back for half splits, and then forward into that low lunge. Breath to movement. Exhale back. Inhale forward. For 3, 2, and 1. The next time you rebend, walk the foot out to the right, roll onto the outer edge of the foot, and open up through the hip so the knee goes out to the side. You can wiggle around side to side. And stay here or sweep that right arm back behind you. Bend at the back knee, draw the heel in toward the glute and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Walk the right foot in. Step back on the hands and knees. Take a round of cat-cow. Inhale the arch. Exhale the round. Back to neutral. Left foot steps forward. Tuck the back toes. Float the knees. Slide the foot back. Relower the knee down. Low lunge. And pull the hips back. Half splits. Cycle through. For 3, 2, and 1. As you rebend, walk the foot out to the side. Open up through the hip. Move side to side. Option to reach back with that left hand. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Cartwheel a hand down. Walk the foot back in. Step back on the hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. From down dog, step the left foot forward between the hands and spin to the right side of the mat for wide-legged forward fold. Bring the hands to the outer edges of the feet, soft bend at the knees. Lift the chest up, keep the left hand planted on the floor, press the mat away, sweep the right arm up for a twist. Walk the gaze up toward the ceiling, breathe in, breathe out. And drop the right hand switch, sweep up, rotate, pause, inhale, and exhale. Drop the hand down, rotate to face the front of the mat, plant the hands, step back, down dog, and walk the hands back to the feet, standing forward fold at the back of the mat. Reach for opposite elbows for ragdoll, and sway from side to side. And put minimal pressure, rolling onto the outer edges of the feet to lift the arches, which sends the knees slightly away from one another. Breathe into the back body. And drop the hands to the floor, walk the hands forward, drop down to the knees, close knees, child's pose. Knees together, sweep the arms back by your sides, palms up. Let the shoulders round toward the floor. Feel that connection of the abdomen against the quads, how the body moves with the breath. So just shift the forehead on the mat side to side. And find stillness as you roll up to a seat. Keep the chin tucked in toward the chest. Draw the shoulders back and down and lean back a little bit to stretch the tops of the feet. So maybe the knees come off the mat, maybe they don't. Doesn't really matter, just as long as you feel okay there. Lowering the knees back down, keep the right hand planted. Sweep the left arm up for a side bend. Back to center, over to the left. Back to center, sweep both arms up. Interlace the hands, press the palms toward the ceiling. Bring the hands to the back of the head, squeeze the shoulder blades together, elbows out wide. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Release the grip, reach the arms up, bring the palms together, drop the hands to the heart, thumbs at the chest, close the eyes. Breathe from your center. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your low belly. Watch as the breath travels. And track the very beginning of one inhale all the way to the tail end of that exhale. From there, draw the hands back to the heart. Take a moment to notice how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally. Thank yourself for showing up, for putting in the work. And I thank you for allowing me to be a part of your day. Namaste.